good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the best possible version of yourself to reach your full potential, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. We care about the ripple effect, personal development, your life coach here. And this morning, we're going over some fun exercises that I do with clients. And this is actually inspired by Mike Maklovich. I hope I'm saying that right. He has a handful of books that I think are really, really good. And specifically, he's got some good TED Talks. But again, his name is Mike Maklovich. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to check this dude out. This is actually a gift from one of my business partners, Brian Slime, Marketing That Can't Be Ignored. This one's a really good book. But the exercises we're doing aren't really from this book in particular, but from actually one of the productivity and decision-making courses I was checking out. So shout out to Mike, shout out to that process, shout out to my business partner, Brian, for the gift. And additionally, let's go ahead and get to work because decision-making has become an epidemic. Being able to make a decision because there's more and more options. There's so many options on how to become more productive. And it's so backwards. There's so many options to help with decision making now. Nobody can make a decision. So now we just want to get real specific. And I found this exercise for myself to be very, very helpful. So, and these are two of my clients. These are two of their favorite exercises. I continually get good feedback on. So I was like, okay, might as well jump on here and do the exercises with you guys and for you. Because why? We believe that we give away all the secrets and we sell implementation. I'll tell you everything I do because I just truly believe that if you work with me, it's a different experience, yada, yada, what sets us apart. So you want to just check out these exercises, you want to knock them the hell out of the park, let's go ahead and get to work and do them. I'm going to use my own business and my own examples. So tune in for that. My own business and my own examples. So let's go ahead and jump over to the whiteboard, the chalkboard, right? The chalkboard wall. Massive, massive chalkboard. Doing a whole lot of learning over on these boards. So let's go ahead. And the example that we use to be more specific, it's called a queen. You think of the one major role, the most important role, the moneymaker. We'll just call it the moneymaker. The moneymaker. So this is the one most important thing. When you think about any type of decision making, this can be like work. And what's so great about this exercise is that you can not only do it for your business, but you can also do it for your life. There's another example. Mike has a TED Talk on it where he's actually doing it with his family. And these tasks you can think of, but you're thinking of the 6 most important tasks. So I want you to think of your life. I want you to think of your business. And I want you to think of the 6 most important tasks that you have to do today. And usually when we're working together, we usually can get pretty much everyone's task down to 6. And you'll see my example, and that should make it a little more clear. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to draw 6 squares. 6. So we're going to have 6 squares, and these are going to be my tasks. They're not going to be yours, so you need to think of yourself, what you're doing, and what industry you're in, and how that works, but you're going to get the point once I start writing these out. So the first square would be coaching. I'm going to go ahead and just write coach in it. So coaching, when I'm working with people directly one-on-one, I'm still in my one-on-one phase of coaching. I think that's the absolute best way to coach. I think it makes the biggest impact on people. So we're going to continue to do that. I'm coaching somebody one-on-one coaching. The next would be product. The things like this, the exercises that we're doing, that would be the actual product within the service that I'm providing. So the product, the exercises, I'm building out this course. It's 12 weeks long. you meet with me every other week, and then you have all this exercise to do to make your vision, to have your values. It's pinned at the top of my Facebook page at Talk to Tanner if you want to check that out. But that is the product that I'm continuously obsessing over, trying to make better and better, because I think a lot of times you get stirred in a bunch of different directions and it's not like concise enough to get you to take action. So we're trying to help people take action. And so product would be another one. So product, and then prospect would be the next. Prospect is going out and finding the people to actually get coaching clients. So this could include, this is kind of bundled into one, prospecting. I use social media messaging, I use email, and I use calling. Those are the only three that I personally do. I'm sure there is a million different ways that you can prospect in business, whether you're doing direct mail or you're going and knocking on freaking doors. There's a bunch of ways that you can do that, but I cube it into one for prospecting, or you could call it marketing, whatever. This could essentially be something that would be considered marketing, but we just line it under prospecting. The next one would be learning. Learn in that cube. So learning, such as I read a lot of like Mike's books, or just I finished The On Purpose Person yesterday. That book is phenomenal. But I do a ton of reading, try and come up with ideas and tactics for this show every single day. You'd be surprised, you start to run out of juice if you don't keep reading and kind of refreshing it. But thankfully, we live in the information age, and it's not too hard to find something good to talk about that can hopefully help people. So the next one would be invest. Always looking for opportunities to invest, because if I'm being totally frank, on the monetary side of these businesses, everything that we're doing is we're trying to take this money and we're trying to shove it into vehicles that make even more money. So me and my family, we can go do sick shit. Like, that is a huge bulk of why we do what we do. Yes, we want to help people and this and that, but from a monetary standpoint, that is like a huge goal for us, is to take the money, invest it into things that make sense, to make it more passive over time, so we can have, the house out in the mountains, the house on the water, this and that, so we can do fun family stuff that's easy and cool and yada yada. That's like invest. So that is one of the pieces of the business, is taking the capital and reinvesting it and trying not to pay a ton of money in taxes. Okay. Next would be systems. And this could be like billing. I'll just put bill under there. So like systems, such as if you go to my website, talktotanner.com, and then you go to the payment processor, and then there's something you have to embed in there for it to actually take payment, or so under like billing or drop my chalk, or if there's something like a CRM that you would take people's information and you'd be loading in something system-wise that you set up beforehand, so it's more on autopilot in the future. That'd be that. So now this is when it gets really hard. So the money maker. This is when we need to start making hard choices. And before we start crossing stuff out to make sure we have a good understanding of what our number one money maker is we need to understand, just because you cross it out on here doesn't mean it goes and dies and you can never look and touch it again. You are just prioritizing and focusing on what is the most important. In one of Mike's videos, he'd use the example of a doctor's office. In a doctor's office, they need systems and bills, but if your doctor was processing your bills, you would say, this is a sketchy doctor's office. I just go to the doctor for the examination, which would be, for in this example, for me, would be coaching. So you would also think like, oh, is that even a good business if I am doing the other things that are not the main thing that I need to focus on and improve the most? So, and just understanding that it is not gone forever. I just like to clarify that, because when people start crossing things off and having to make decisions, they're like, oh man, but that's important too, but not as important. and we need to focus down one thing at a time, one thing at a time. So the first stance is I want you to cross out 2 of them. What are two that are not as important towards the money making? What are things that you can go without? Like what would make the business absolutely die if you didn't? So for me, I'm trying to think, well, probably the number one, I don't need to do as much learning right now. I feel like a lot of times the only reason I read is because honestly, I'm procrastinating. Because doing the bulk of the content and the work deep into the business can be very stressful. It can cause a lot of pain. I'm scared to take a lot of actions. Everyone's scared. That's totally part of the process. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not. Sometimes even jumping on here live can be scary and this and that. But so learning, a lot of times I'll pick up and read books and this and that just to procrastinate. So that would be one of them I would cross out. And the next would be systems and billing right now. I don't think getting the systems down is nearly as important as say like coaching or product or reaching out to people and just letting them know, because we are still in the growth stage. And then, so we've crossed out 2. Now we have 4 more. So what would be the next 2? So now we got to cross out 2 more. Well, I would say the investing, I don't have to worry about it. I'm still in my 20s and I'm still trying to figure out what is even the best vehicle. We have some rental properties. We're trying to go deep into this business. We're still learning the mechanics of it. And it's honestly, it's a lot more important to be investing in ourselves than it say would be investing into the markets and stuff like that. I get it. Money compounds over the time, but I'm a big believer in the S&P 500, which is investing in yourself more than anything when you're young, because skills pay. We all knew that from the one of my favorite motivational speakers. So next one would be prospecting, reaching out to people. I don't think that is as important for me right now. And again, we are taking this in the stage of right now, today, so we can focus, so we can make a decision, and we can take action. That is our goal. Let's go ahead and write over it. The goal is to take action. I don't know if you can see all the way over there, Instagram, but the goal is to take action. That is the number one thing that usually holds people back. So we need to take action. And is that going to help us take action as much as product development? So we're left with the 2 hardest ones to choose. So actually coaching someone one-on-one versus the product development. And I would say at this stage right now, I would actually argue for myself, the best thing I could be doing is focusing on the product, the real product. That 12-week course I was talking about, the 12-week course with the 6 classes in it, I truly believe that is going to be the bread and butter for our business going forward. It's going to give me a lot of time to leverage and be able to turn it into more of an operation business versus coaching one-on-one. I think we've coached enough one-on-one to help people back and forth with the exercises. So our ultimate focus is the product. We want to make the product the best it can possibly be. So for you, you're thinking now, okay, where am I at? What are my most important tasks? And how can I narrow it down to the most important thing? And it's not like I'm not doing these a little bit each day or multiple times a week. It's just nothing else. You don't get to do anything else until you do this. Until you do the product, you do not get to do the coaching. You do not get to do the prospecting. You do not get to do the investing. You do not get to do the learning until you make a step forward with this, your most important task. You do not do anything else. And if you don't do that, if there's procrastination, if there's fear that comes up, then we need to talk about it. We need to work on it, because that's what was happening to me a lot. When it would get down to the nitty gritty, and like, okay, you really need to focus on development, I get scared and then I turn to books. Every time it'd be like, oh crap, I need to really, really figure out this product and get it better. I need to have something real and tangible. Then I just start calling people and like, all right, what are you selling? Yeah, I'm a life coach. You don't need a coach? They're like, yeah, but like, so what's the result? What do you do? Like, I'm here for you every step of the way. And so I just wasn't ready because I was still running away from the fact that I needed to develop the product to its fullest ability and potential to make it as good as possible for the people who I was coaching. So running away, there's usually a reason when you identify and then you stop and you're just not willing to do it. There's usually a reason behind it. And that's a big part of life coaching is we usually crack the code behind that to get us to do what? The number one goal is to take action. Take action towards our money-making task. So that's how you prioritize and take this all the way down. So now that we have this, people are like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that for the rest of my life. I'm not going to only do that. So what can we do? And now this next exercise is called hub and spoke. So I want you to think of like a hub on a wheel or something like that. You'll see in the diagram, it'll make more sense. So we identified our number one. Money-making task is product. We want to make the product and this is my 12-week course. Now I want you to think of those other tasks that we had on here. So for yourself, after you've identified your number one, this could be the actual working with the client. This could be the product development. This could be the marketing for whatever it is you could be. And then say if it's like you're doing more of a family one, you could have down on your task like talking to my family, saying I love you to people who I care about, going on vacation, whatever it is that you want to narrow down. Once you have the top choice, now I want you to think of how far off track each task takes you. So when I'm doing product development, I do still need some feedback. So coaching takes me off course a little bit, but not too much. Versus when I get into a rabbit hole of billing and systems, I don't know a ton about billing and systems. I don't know a lot about systems in general for businesses. That's not my strong suit. Versus getting yourself in a productive state, having a clear path of what you need to do next is more my strong suit. So that would be like billing and systems. I'm not as good at these. I'm not as good at this, so it takes me farther away from my product because I'd have a lot more to learn. Versus learning takes me off course, not as much as the systems, but so now as you can see how far, and I want you to do for all 6 of that'd be 5. All 5 of the other tasks that's not your main thing, and now you're going off a little bit in coaching. This is how you can help prioritize. That's a Z in cursive, terrible, but this will help you prioritize what you want to do throughout your day and what's going to keep you in alignment with getting closer to this goal. So I'm going to be developing this product. Yes, after doing this for like 4 or 5 hours in the day, I'm going to be probably pretty burnt out and I want to take a break. Maybe that's when I can reward myself with learning. Or then that's when I schedule in my coaching clients. I like to coach people around 9 and 11 a.m., get up at 5 in the morning, coach at 9 and 11 a.m., and then go work out with my buddy at noon. So that routine works for me. Just remember that, again, the goal is to make sure that this is the number one priority. And we've made the decision that this is the money-making task. And then we take in the other stuff to help build around it. And we understand what takes us super far off course. Maybe this just needs to be automated altogether. Maybe we need to just not do billing and systems, and then so we can focus more on this. So we can focus on the money-making task. Or maybe we take a break from learning and we only do that on, say, Sunday. Maybe I don't need to watch a shitload of football or the NFL because they're not doing anything for my life, versus learning can help me progress and have a better understanding of the product. But I need to understand that this is still my number one, and Monday through Friday, when I'm getting up in the morning, this is what I need to focus on. So what do you need to focus on? How can you narrow down your focus and help you make decisions? This is hub and spoke model. And again, the other exercise right before that. So that was just productivity squares. That's all I got for today. That's an exercise that I like. So you got to be able to narrow it down, understand. And again, this is in reference to today, not 10 years into the future, but today, to help you with decision making, to help you focus and have a priority on what it is that you do want to get done. Okay, friends, I am rolling out of here. Instagram, thanks so much for hanging around. Friends over here at Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, cheers. We'll be back here again live tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, with another tip, trick, or exercise to help make you the best possible version of yourself. If you have any questions or you'd like to do this exercise with me, you can click the link in the description below and we can set up a time to chat. Thanks so much. Cheers. Have an amazing, amazing Tuesday. We got to roll. You guys keep kicking ass, taking names, and getting better. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Cheers.